Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit, and I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. And if you feel like being a lurker, you can just go ahead and lurk. That's also okay. We'd be happy to have you here lurking and hanging out if you don't want to chat. It is a Thursday night, and I am working on the, God, what is the name of this goddamn kit? The full name, it's the Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam. There's a lot to say to that, but it's the Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam, and I am excited to work on that. I am getting a spam message from somebody who I don't know. You know what? I don't know if this is a spam message or not, but I got a message from somebody who it was one of those things where I'm like, actually, now that I look at that, that's not spam. It might be from a real person. I'm so used to getting spam messages, but I will talk to that person later. Lashbrook just resubbed 94 months, saying 94 months. That is many, many months, and it is. So let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site Tier 2 blue in my chat, and thank Lashbrook for the continued support. Means a lot. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. And Lord Crashington just subscribed at Tier 1 for 75 months. Thank you very much, Lord Crashington, saying, hey, Pat. Hey, Lord Crashington. Thank you again for your continued support. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat for both of you. I appreciate you both very much. So the reason why I had to go and look at another monitor for the name of the Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam model kit is because normally that would be in the title of this video would just be on my dashboard, and I could just look at it and reference it. But for whatever reason, that's not happening tonight, and I don't know why, but my dashboard is not showing me the title of the video or the category that I'm in, which is weird. It's weird that both of those things are happening. So I'm looking at, okay, so if I look at the twitch.tv/Pat Baer, which is what you're looking at, it does say Gunpla Mighty Strike Freedom Gundam, and it has me in the category Makers and Crafting. So that's good. That's what I want to be there. I don't know why the dashboard is not showing me that information, and it's annoying. I'll just say that. Anyway, let's go to the overhead camera. Let's work on this. Let's continue to work on our kit here. We do have the Mighty Strike Freedom. We completed the head and the chest and a little bit of the waist, and then I did the shoulders here and some of the arms. I have not panel lined this. I'm going to wait until I'm done with all of the arm and then panel line it together. Gotta flip back here because we can do, I believe, yeah. We've done all that. There are a few more things that we can do at the same time, and then we can finish off by assembly and do the hands. But it looks like most of the actual arms we can do, they are symmetrical, which is great. We love that. We love a symmetrical kit because it just makes things a little easier. So let's continue to work on the arms. I think this is cool. I do like this. I do want to say before I start getting into that, I do really like the fact that the way that the shoulder meets the chest here is some of the arm. I just think that's neat. Instead of the shoulder piece here having to like clip onto it, it's just kind of snapped around it. I don't know. I find that helpful. That's good. So we need B and A over here. I hope you're doing well tonight. I've been looking forward to today. I was doing some stuff around the house today, amongst other things. I was sending some work things, doing some outside work stuff as well. But a big part of my day was home improvement. There is we got ourselves a table in the living room that needed some adjustment, so I went and did that. B15. This is A. I need A11. 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 I need both of A11, so I'm gonna get those out. They're right over here. Yeah, the table in there is a low table. It is a coffee table style thing. But one of the legs is starting to come off of it, so I had to flip it over, tighten up everything. I went through my extensive collection of Allen wrenches and Allen keys and found one that worked for it. Tightened everything up, and then added a lot of glue, and then hopefully the glue will adhere. And I have brought that table back from the state it was in into a new state, which would hopefully anyway get a few more years out of it. So that's the hope. And then my folks got a new chair delivered, a new lounge chair, a lazy boy style chair. And so we had to like take the old one out and move that out of the way and clean up where the new one was going. Luckily, I did not have I just had to move the old one kind of out of the way. I didn't have to dispose of the old one, and I didn't have to move the new one in. They had people come in and set that up. I did have to fix it, though. I fixed our brand new chair. So my folks got a chair that is, I would say, in line with kind of where they're at right now. And by that, I just mean they're older. And so instead of a recliner where there's like the handle on the side and you got to like pull back the handle and push the handle forward to get the legs to come up and then it goes back, this one's mechanical. There are motors underneath it that will bring up the legs and then bring back the, to lean back on it. And then also they can like increase the lumbar support, which is an interesting thing. If you want to like force yourself to sit up better, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if it was the way they set it up or it's the way that like my thinking is it was just like some of that is user error not user error, but like design error. It plugs into the wall, right? And we do have an outlet right near it, so we did that, and that's no problem. But the cord has like a quick release on it, which is nice. So that the charger, you can basically, you can unplug it from the chair. You don't have to unplug it from the wall and have it dangle. If you want to move the chair, you can just unplug it from there. But it was too low on the chair, so when you leaned back, it caused the cables to disconnect. Which, like, on the one hand, that's better than the cord breaking, of course, right? But on the other, it happened to me, thankfully, and not my folks, because there's no way to manually put the legs down on the chair. And, like, it was just unplugged. So I was like, okay, I have to go and climb out of this chair and figure out what's going on. And so I, like, turned the chair over and reran the cable in a way that theoretically it won't separate itself by use. I've also now thought about, I'm like, I wonder if there is like an emergency release of that, because like, this is a weird thing to say. What if you're leaned back all the way on that chair and you're someone that depends on its ability to be mechanically move and the power goes out? The power doesn't go out here that often, but it does on occasion go out. Are these A25? Did I do the wrong one? No, these are the right ones. Okay. I thought for a second these might be the wrong one, or the wrong ones, but they're the right ones. Okay. Goes like that. Yeah, okay. So that goes like that. And then there's another thing that goes on from the inside. Got it. So yeah. So I had to like route the wires. I was about to say I had to rewire it, which is like makes it sound like I did more than I did. I just had to like reroute some cables. All right. Cut out carefully. Will do. I will cut these out carefully. Thank you for the information here. Instructions. Thank you, instructions, for telling me to do this cleanly. Yeah, so that was a thing I was not expecting to do either of those things today, like rework some wiring and or make sure that a table is, hopefully this table, after I've done some work to it, Hopefully, I'm going to get a few more years out of that table, but we'll see. We'll find out tomorrow if it holds, because it would be annoying if it didn't. Let's see. Stuff going here. In the second hour tonight, we will be talking about some new anime. But I did think it was important before I talked about this new anime. We got to talk about this. The fucking state of Crunchyroll, particularly the subtitles. Now, we have talked in the past about how there have been some clearly AI-generated subtitles that have appeared on Crunchyroll in the past. I am not talking about that. That is a different thing. So, as far as we know, Crunchyroll still hires people to do translation. But not every contract with Crunchyroll for an anime to appear on Crunchyroll has the subtitles done by Crunchyroll. And the same thing for dubs. Not every dub is produced by Crunchyroll. Some companies in their agreements with Crunchyroll say, we'll handle that. Because they want to put the DVDs out with that, like, they want to put DVDs in other regions, or they want to appear in other services in other countries. And so they do the work internally. And in that instance, a couple of those shows have shown up with clearly AI-generated subtitles. There are a couple examples that have been pretty... One had like a translation that was put in there that was clearly someone using ChatGPT or an AI assistant, and like it got included in that. That has clearly been shown. I am not here to defend Crunchyroll because I'm about to talk shit about them. But I'm just putting that into perspective that as far as we know, right now anyway, Crunchyroll is not using AI. They are paying translators to do the translation. But a separate issue is that Crunchyroll is fucking up by giving us piss poor subtitles in presentation. I am not talking about the AI use. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about bad translations. I am specifically talking about ugly looking. They changed their software. Now, they had been using a proprietary software for a number of years where you could basically every episode of every show had its own upload for every subtitle. And it wasn't, I'm turning subtitles on and off and I'm picking what subtitle, and the subtitles would just be overlaid over the video, the source video. It was the way they were doing it previously, which made sense when Crunchyroll was big, but, you know, was fighting with Funimation. It probably made sense to do this. Or when Crunchyroll was wholly directed by people who were in that business because they wanted to be the best at doing anime stuff and licensing anime and all that. I am not saying that Crunchyroll hasn't been corporate before, or wasn't corporate before they got bought, but certainly they were less corporate than they are now, for better or worse. But at least in that case, they had software. So basically, if you had 5 shows, 5 different languages being subtitled, you would have 5 different files, and you would have to render each one of them. Because Crunchyroll was also up until this season doing hard encoded translation of signs, like a street sign or a sign on a building, or if someone was reading a text message, then they would hard encode a translation of that text on screen. And it would show up there, and then that would be also sometimes if someone was singing or if someone was off screen talking, you could hard encode some language to denote that, and you could put text wherever you wanted. It was slower than some other services. That's apparently, but all indication says that's over. That shit's done. They are now using the industry leading software solution or some bullshit. And that takes it all away. Basically, Crunchyroll is now going to be looking like Netflix and Amazon Prime look. Very flat, no shadows on it. and it is something that they can just do. They can have one file that is the video file, and then they can have any number of languages pop up depending on your region and the preferences you set. So it is more cost effective, and it is certainly probably faster. Man, I cannot get this piece to fit in right. It's going to be easy when I do the other one. But what it means is it's worse. It's just way worse. Knowing who's talking when they're off screen is harder, or off camera, I should say. When dialogue is overlapping, there is no way to denote who's talking there. It's just line, and that's very difficult. It is a worse product. I should also say, when we talk about Crunchyroll, not, as of right now anyway, not using AI and paying people, that's not the case when it comes to closed captioning. And it's important to remember that closed captioning and subtitles are different things, because dubs are not always word for word. So some people just put the subtitles on when they are watching a dub, and then they complain about how they don't match up perfectly, because dubs are not word for word translations of the original text. They're working off a script, and voice actors have performances that are different. Now, also, closed captioning is not just a subtitle. It includes denotions of music and sound effects. It describes the audio in many ways. Crunchyroll has clearly been using services to do closed captioning that sometimes are just the subtitles that they already paid for, and sometimes are clearly, unfortunately, using an AI to do those translations. Boy, I cannot get this piece to go here. I'm going to try another one here. My apologies. All right, so this piece goes like this. And then this just has to fit in. But no matter what I do, it doesn't. And it's got to be... I wonder if I can do it. I can figure out where this goes. How does this... No, that's not going to help me. Okay. So it's a mess right now. I will say that High Dive, in some instances, High Dive is better is the best when it comes to subtitles. But also, I want to make it clear that High Dive is trying to go. They're constantly living in the past and trying to act like the subtitles you remember when you read, when you watched anime with fan subs. They are emulating that style, which is not like the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly not as clear as it could be. Crunchyroll was the leader in the game for years. That seems to be over, and it seems like that won't come back. The other issues with Crunchyroll right now are delivery. This past weekend, the first episode of My Hero Academia did not come up. And when it did finally come up, it did not have subtitles at first. That is clearly a logistics issue. That is not a Crunchyroll, it doesn't know what they're doing thing, because they're not handling subtitles for that show. That was clearly a delivery problem more than anything else. All right, I think I figured this piece out. I don't know why this was so frustrating, but it really was. Again, I don't know why it was. Did I not do this right then? Okay, I guess I didn't do this right. I thought I did it right. No, it didn't. I think I did snap this piece out cleanly. It's just not going into the places it's supposed to go. It's very frustrating. Anyway, yeah, speaking of frustrating, I am frustrated with this. I cannot tell you about the subtitles for Ocean Vale. Ocean Vale is a new streaming service that started, I believe, like last month. It is oh, there we go. I got this piece in at least. It is incredibly new. Right now, they have not licensed anything that I am interested in watching, so I have not paid for the service. I will. Most likely next month, I will get a month of it or do the free trial. But I've been kind of waiting for there to be a few shows that I was interested in watching, and their back catalog is not necessarily anything I'm super into right now. But as they add things and get some licenses, I will endeavor to do a video on Ocean Vale. I can tell you that Ocean Vale is horny. That is a demographic they are going for, which partially our fine folks at High Dive was kind of filling that niche. But they kind of backed off that a bit once they got bought by AMC. But Ocean Vale's fucking tagline is "Dive for anime, leave with secrets." And then you scroll down a little bit, and the things they are advertising are the horny shows. Watch the raw, unedited version made for bold Voyagers for some fucking show that I've never fucking heard of. The anime they are most advertising is just the horniest looking shit. Let's see what. Yeah, their fall. If you are looking for the anime about the guy who is a massage therapist and ends up helping out a volleyball team, that's on Ocean Vale. All of the shows, yes. They basically have two new shows that they're simulcasting, and both are unbelievably, unquestionably horny AF. And then they have a bunch of other stuff. You can make a free account. I'm gonna have to make an account. Streaming on all our anime with no ads, which, obviously paid there. They do have a selection of free anime, and they don't show you ads on their free anime. So that's that. Like I said, I will at some point make an account for this because it's a new streaming service and I got to talk about it. But bringing you titles long buried in the ocean, aka no American company was picked these up. Anime that remains true to its Japanese roots, with a particular emphasis on serving the fans. It's just so fucking horny. Yeah. Again, I don't know how much it costs. I'm gonna do a Pat Bear's Anime Club about this eventually, but Jesus, yeah. It just there's a new streaming service on the block, and it's horny. But I do have to, I guess I do need to say all right, where can you watch anime right now? I should update that video for 2025 with a new service. I guess I should talk about it. I don't know. I don't expect there to be anything necessarily on this service that I'm gung-ho to watch, but you never know. There could be something on this service that I'm oh, wait, they have this show. I gotta watch that. Like I said, I don't expect that, but it's possible. Oh, I put this on wrong. Can I get this piece out? Can I get this piece out that I put on wrong as I was talking about Ocean Vale? I don't know. But anyway, the state of all this is bad news. And also when I'm dumping on Crunchyroll, it is important to remember that the Crunchyroll store is balls, and they bought Right Stuff, and then they have that was supposedly going to make things better. It did not make things better. They just made Right Stuff worse, including most recently there was the last pre-orders that came in when Right Stuff was an independently owned company. Those are starting to come through. And at least one of the things does not have everything that was promised in the pre-order. They didn't include some stuff with apparently no notice, which is fucking bullshit. So yeah, that's some fucking shit right there. All right, we got more of our arms done here. We'll keep doing that. But yeah, I'll keep you all abreast. The next episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club will come out on Monday. That will be, of course, me looking at or telling you if I'm going to be watching any of the Isekai that is out this season. and obviously the spoiler tonight, and I'll be talking about in the second hour, is yes, I will be watching some Isekai from next season, or from this season, because of course I will. But I always like doing that video. And then the video after that will be something around, because it will come out around Halloween, and it will be something that is related to the holiday, that is in keeping with the holiday. So that's a little tease there for that. Should check my Patreon to see if people voted on what I'm doing next Tuesday. Has anybody voted on that? Right now, there is a vote. Currently, there is a vote for, is this seat taken? Which I have not finished. I wanted to finish it on stream, and so that is up for poll. I was going to do it this month, and then other things came out. Also on that poll, if you are a $3, $5, or $10 patron, the post I sent out today is that poll, and I would love for you to vote in that poll. But yeah, there is a poll there for what I do next Tuesday. On that list is this seat taken? WWE 2K25 CPU versus CPU matches, and I'll make those like holiday themed, even though they'll be early in this month or whatever. And then also a new video game that I received a code for that I will play this month, but if you want to see it next week, I can do that then, which is Battlesuit Aces. Battlesuit Aces I received a code for, and I am going to play that. So if I don't play that next week, I'll play it the following week, but and then, of course, the week after that will be Power Wash Simulator 2. The full release will be out, and so I'll be playing that. I'm very excited about that. This gold looks pretty good, I'll say that. This gold is pretty good looking. I need 12. 12 out here. All right. So 12 goes like this on this side. And then 13 goes on the other side. And I got to make sure that these line up correctly, because sometimes I don't line these up right, these arms. And then the arms don't bend properly, and I have to take them apart. And you'd think with the amount of strike kits, Strike Freedom, Strike Noir, Mighty Strike here, I've built a lot of strike kits. You would think at this point I wouldn't mess that up, but I have, and I guess I will continue to mess that shit up, which is wild. But I have messed these up before, and I cannot promise you that I will not mess it up again. All right, this goes like this. And then arms will bend like that. I think this is right. Find out if I did this wrong, but I think this is how the arm is supposed to go. Yeah. It's a little hard to tell if I've done this correctly or not, but I think I'm doing this right. Always fun, right? When you're just like, I don't know. But I think I'm doing it correctly. There have been some new matches added to Wrestle Dream, which is going to be next Saturday. I will not be streaming next Saturday in the evening, because this is a show that starts, I believe, at 8 p.m. Eastern, I want to say. I want to say this is an evening show. And so I will be watching it as it appears, as it happens, I should say. Actually, I should just look this up. And see Wrestle Dream 2025 start time. I believe tomorrow, or no, maybe 2 days from now is when you can pre-order the pay-per-view. Let's see, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then it'll be an hour-long pre-show on TBS, and again, like last time, at 7 p.m. Or TNT, I should say, which is basically like the second hour of Collision. So basically, for folks that watched the last AEW pay-per-view, it's the same thing, except it's not going to be in the afternoon. It's going to be in the evening. So I'm taking, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday off to watch wrestling. Because I enjoy watching wrestling. Will I make up that day? I don't think I will. I kind of don't do that anymore. I used to do that where I would do like, oh, well, I'm missing this day, so I'll do another one. But if I'm like going to miss like 2 days that I normally stream, then I would like make that up, definitely. But one day, I'm kind of okay now and again taking that off with apologies. But that's kind of where I'm at with that, is that I do not mind on occasion taking the day off here and there. But I would take that off. There are 6 matches on the card, which is not enough for AEW, so more are coming, I'm sure. Darby Allin versus Jon Moxley and I Quit match, which I'll say this, folks. Darby versus Moxley doesn't really do much for me, and I Quit match is kind of an interesting stipulation for both of them, but it means that neither of them is wrestling for a world title, and that makes me happy. So even if this is actually, for me, a piss break match, I'm fine with them being in this position because it means neither of them is facing for the world title, and that's great. It's good news, in my opinion. Hangman Adam Page is defending the AEW Men's World Championship against Samoa Joe. They basically kind of sold it well on Tuesday Dynamite, or Title Tuesday. With that, I think they did a decent job of explaining why this is happening. Joe is going to be heel very briefly, basically, and then he'll go back to being a face after the match, most likely. Chris Statlander is defending her title against the woman she pinned for it, Timeless Toni Storm, for the AEW Women's World Championship. That match should be fucking awesome. There are shenanigans happening. My hope is that we don't get a fuck finish. AEW doesn't generally truck in fuck finishes, but you never know for like pay-per-view things. But I could see this leading to Statlander and Tony being a tag team in the supposedly happening, they have a belt for it, so maybe they're actually doing it, women's tag scene, which they have not done anything remotely about yet, other than announcing it being a thing. So maybe they'll do something with that. It's possible that they do. Jurassic Express, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus are taking on the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. And the winner of that match receives $500,000. I assume the Young Bucks win this by cheating to continue their storyline, but also if they lose it, that's fine. This makes me happy because it means that neither of them are going after the tag belts. I actually think Jurassic Express versus Brodito could be cool, but I don't need to see that. Because I just, right now anyway, I'd like to have that, it's like, I'm fine with that being whatever it is there. Big money matches are funny to me because there have been a history of AEW big money matches in the last couple of years. The very first one was early in the career of AEW, and it was like for like $7,000 to charity or something. And it's very funny that they have jumped to that. And then in kayfabe, of course, a lot of these money matches happen with the money they're saving by not having Matt and Nick Jackson be EVPs anymore. That's the kayfabe reason why they have this money suddenly, which is funny. Kyle Fletcher is defending the AEW TNT Championship against Mark Briscoe. Now, you would think that Kyle Fletcher is just going to win this with no problem because Mark Briscoe, other than when he beat MJF, doesn't win the big one, right? Doesn't win the big one. But what if they're going to have Kyle go after Hangman and Page without the belt? And they put the TNT title on Mark Briscoe. They're not going to, but there is like a little bit of a possibility in my head that like Mark could win this. Because at some point, Kyle's going to have to lose that belt. I don't think it's going to be now, but it could be. We could see a bunch of shenanigans from the Don Callis family. Maybe somebody in the Don Callis family turns their back on the family and helps out Mark, or a returning Dustin Rhodes, who Kyle basically didn't retire, but like injured, took him off TV. So maybe that would be the thing. All right, this says click. That this is supposed to click in, but I don't feel a click when these go in here. I don't feel a click. It says click, but I don't feel a click. I'm going to try on the other. I'm going to try the other one here. Nope. Nope. I don't feel a click. Or I don't hear a click. I don't feel a click. A lock in place kind of thing. I don't feel that. Doing the other one, see. So that could be that that doesn't really click in, or that I'm doing something wrong. Oh, that, yeah, no, that doesn't. Weird. This is going to go like this. That, oh, that's the click. Okay. The click is it snapping in here. The click is not this snapping. That is, okay, that makes more sense. All right. Because I was like, there's nothing for this to click into. What are we talking about here? Okay, so it's that. It's, this is going to click in when it connects to this. And it does do that. Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Great. Okay, I was confused. I'm less confused now, so that's good. It's always nice when I can be less confused. And then Bandito and Brody King are defending their tag championships, World Tag Team Champions, against the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. Okada is a double champion at AEW and going for the triple championship. Now, there exists a world where they put 3 fucking belts on Okada. He's the unified champion, so he's technically only one champion, but he's got 2 belts. I don't think they're going to do that. I think instead they're going to fuel this like face turn for Takeshita, so that Takeshita will then try to win, enter him, like get out of the Don Callis family, and then enter himself into the Continental Classic to take on Okada. That's what I feel like is going to happen. Now, is that what's going to happen? I don't know, but that's what I feel like is going to happen. If they put the tag belts on Takeshita and Okada, that is just a wild thing. I don't think they're going to do that. But again, they could fucking do that. Other matches to go on the card. Something with Mercedes Moné. Mercedes, I don't know who she's challenging. We're getting FTR, and like I could see something with FTR and Jet Speed in the pre-show. I could see Willow versus sorry, brain freeze there. Willow versus Megan Bain in the pre-show. Lashbrook says Takeshita is definitely going to cost Okada the win. Here's the thing, Lashbrook. I think it's the other way around. I think Okada is going to give up on the match, and I don't think Okada takes a pin, man. I do not think that Okada gets pinned in that match. I think Takeshita is the one getting pinned in that match for sure, because Takeshita is going, like, you can't turn, like, I don't think anyway you can turn babyface by like quitting on a match. Maybe you can, but I think that like, I think in this scenario, Okada is the one who is going to be like, actually, fuck this, and leave. That's my thought. I don't know. Because Takeshita still loses a lot, despite being the next big fucking thing. He still loses a lot. So, and Okada does not really lose. There are a bunch of names that are that aren't on here. as far as titles go, we don't have the Continental, the Unified, the Continental, and the International titles are not being defended. The Trios titles can't be defended because Samoa Joe is in the main event. There are other things that could be in there. Some Death Riders could be in the show. Certainly. Eddie Kingston and Hook could be in a tag match, maybe pre-show. I don't know. That's certainly possible. There are a lot of people, like I said, Mercedes. I assume Mercedes is going to have a match. They might also do a qualifier. We don't know how the women's tag belts are going to be figured out right now. We do not know that. We do not have that information about how those belts are going to be decided. There could be like a prelim match to figure that out, which would be cool. We don't know. We don't know yet. There's still time. I can tell you that next week, Dynamite will be 3 hours. And if you're watching on HBO Max, you might have to switch. After the 2 hours, you might have to switch to a different live program. The last time they did it, before the last pay-per-view, it didn't continuously go from one to the other because the third hour is technically Collision. The second hour of, or the fourth hour, or sorry, the second hour of Collision is the tailgate show. It's a Collision tailgate. It's garbage how they're booking, how they're like figuring that out, but that's how they're figuring that out. So. I watched it on TNT, and it was fine to watch that, but I'll be watching on TBS. On TBS, the third hour will just happen. So if you're watching Dynamite that way, you will. So next week is 3 hours of Dynamite / Collision, and then no Collision on Saturday, because except for the pre-show, which will be on, which then leads directly into the pay-per-view next week. This week, Collision airs at normal time, except that it was recorded yesterday. Last night, they taped Collision. There is a spoiler out there. Hello, welcome. There is a spoiler out there for folks that want to be wary of that. There was an injury last night on the taping of AEW Collision. It is a shame that happened. Hopefully that will not be a long recovery time for someone who, in my opinion, maybe should figure out if they really want to keep doing this to themselves. But no more spoilers there. I saw the tailgate brawl on HBO, so I guess they're doing the double pre-show thing again. Yes, Lashbrook. To clarify for folks, because it's confusing and bad, if you want a pre-show before the AEW pay-per-view next week where wrestling happens, that is the Tailgate Brawl. And that airs on HBO Max and TNT. If you want an hour of a pre-tape hour of Daniel Bryan and thank you for the follow, appreciate that, of Daniel Bryan and RJ City and Renee interviewing people, Renee Paquette interviewing folks. That is only that is on, I should say, the YouTube pre-show, and also Triller's pre-show is that, and Amazon Prime's pre-show are those. If you want the wrestling portion, that is only available on TNT and HBO Max. Is that incredibly foolish? Yes. It's a terrible idea. The idea of their pre-show being on TNT and HBO Max, I think, is very good and cool. The idea that it's exclusive to those two places, and you can't watch that on... You can buy the pay-per-view on YouTube or Amazon Prime, but that's not the way to watch it, I think is foolish. It's very foolish. I still don't have HBO Max because I have no reason to get it. I am thinking about maybe getting it for a month just to buy the pay-per-view from HBO Max and see how that looks. I have no complaints when it comes to Amazon Prime and watching the wrestling on Amazon Prime. I think Amazon Prime does a fantastic job. And also, they don't charge me tax. And sometimes I have digital credits, and so it's cheaper. And that's great. So I have no complaints with that. But I am annoyed that I'm going to have to switch from one thing to another. The question has been asked by Milder Dragon. If you don't mind me asking, what's your favorite mobile suit? My absolute favorite mobile suit is the Death Scythe. Depending on the day, it is either the Death Scythe Hell Custom from Endless Waltz or the original Death Scythe. I love it so much that when I was getting emotes made, one of the emotes is me as a Death Scythe. But yeah, that is my all-time favoriteest kit from Gundam Wing. Yeah, and depending on the day, it is either the Death Scythe original or the Hell Custom from Endless Waltz. I do like the Death Scythe Hell with its weird flaps and its double scythe, but it is not my it's never my favorite over the other two. I think because it doesn't, I don't know. Yeah, there's something, I don't know. I think the cloaking technology there is kind of fun, but it's not my favorite compared to the other Death Scythes. I think it's generally the classic, but often, I mean, the Hell Custom, the Endless Waltz version is just so cool. It's just so neat. The wings are so cool. It's just got like a Batman vibe to it that I love. Nova says, I'm a big fan of the strike kits. Yeah, I like these. I think I have made too many strikes. I took a break from working on these. The Mighty Strike Freedom here, I think, is a good looking strike. But there were also like 2 strikes that came out around the time of the Breaker Battle Log, and I was like, that strike, I don't know, I wasn't super into that one, that version of it. And then I think the Strike Noir is pretty cool, but I also built the Strike Noir around the same time I built the Strike Rogue, Rouge, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't have built these so close together. I think I'm just in fatigue from building them all around the same time. And the perfect strike. Yeah. I'm not trying to say that I dislike this kit. I think I just built too many of them around the same time. And then Milder Dragon says, me personally, I like the Wing Gundam Zero from Endless Waltz. I mean, look, the feathers are just top tier. The feathers are just an incredible choice. Like, it's just gorgeous. Just the very idea. You know, I've only built a couple perfect grades. And that was oh man, the feathers for the perfect grade Wing Endless Waltz were ridiculous. The Wing Zero Endless Waltz kit. Those are ridiculous. But the idea that the wings can be a cocoon so that you can like take your Gundam and land it on into Earth's atmosphere from space is just so silly in a way that I can really get on board with. It's just good and dumb in a way that I really like. God, it's just a gorgeous kit. Just a good silly design that I really like. But yeah, those wings are just incredible. There's a lot of work on the perfect grade, but it was worth it. I think we'll talk about some. I am going to wait on talking about the Discord hack until Saturday. There was a hack on Discord where some personal information went out for people that in parts of the world where they had to use government ID or chose to for age verification, and some of that got leaked, and some of that information is being set out. 70,000 users, but I'm waiting till Saturday to really dive into that, because I imagine there will be an update between now and Saturday, and so I'm going to wait a little bit on talking about that. But it is fucked, and Any service that collects information like that and stores it instead of just being a one-time thing needs better goddamn security, because they are putting people's livelihoods at stake. So that, that's the whole thing. I also like the Unicorn Gundam Banshee Noir full armor. So I am on a self-imposed break on unicorns and Norns, the Banshee Norn and unicorns, because while I think they look fantastic, they're so much work. High grades, master grades, whatever. All of the little clear bits that have to go in so that when you move a slot, the clear bit shows up on the arm and the leg and the shoulders and all of that. I think those look phenomenal, but that's too strong. I don't want to, for a very long time, do that again. I want a long break before I do those again. Because I do think that they look great, but they're just a lot of work. And a lot of small part work that I'm not interested in doing for the time being. Someday I will do them again. I will certainly. I am not saying that I will never build a Norn or a Unicorn again. But like I built the Unicorn Destroyer not too long ago, and I was like, well, I haven't built one of these in a couple of years. And I was like, nope, still not long enough a break. I need another break on these. But yeah, but they do look gorgeous. The little fiddly clear bits is just so much, or not clear. Yeah. Like, transparent bits, colored transparency. It's just a lot. So I'm gonna relax on those for a little while longer. Eventually I will. All right. We'll do that there. Do this here. Yeah, why not? All right, I have panelized the arms here, and now I'm going to clean them up, and then we will take a pause for the cause, and I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and all that, and then we'll come back and talk about some anime that I watched, and get into all that. Do all that there. All right, now I'll clean this up here, and let's see, is there any other news stories while I do that? Let's see, I will do, let me just update this here. Okay. Really quick little stories here just to share some good news out there. Despite the fact that it seems kind of lifeless and kind of corporate and a little soulless, 15 million people in the last 3 weeks have checked out Skate, the new free-to-play, online all the time Skate game is out. Not Skate 4, it is Skate. If you were looking it up on Twitch, it is Skate with a period at the end of it. That is how you find people that are streaming the new game and not the original Skate. It is Skate, period. 15 million people have checked that out. Went in early access, less than a month ago, and people are checking it out. And of course, it is not supported on Steam Deck. So I don't know if it ever will, but right now it's not supported on Steam Deck, no Linux version. And it seems like the gameplay is pretty good, but it's not that fun. And also there was a glitch apparently that they removed, and so Jeff Gerstmann was particularly bummed about that glitch being out of there, which I understand because the glitch was pretty neat. It allowed you to have your character fly through the air and continuously basically fall over and over again out of stunts and stuff, and it was just neat. And apparently they took that out and removed some of that functionality, which apparently was not supposed to be there, but was cool and fun. Also doing well is Claire Obscure. Expedition 33 has sold over 5 million copies, which is crazy. That's 5 million copies in 7 months. So Lashbrook, they changed some of the rolling stuff in Skate, so you can't do it continuously, and you can't do it like up into the air. They quote unquote patched a bug, and they took out a fun thing. Yes, Lashbrook, they made it less fun. I have not played the Gundam arcade games. I'm not much. I mean, I played some Gundam games, but I haven't played any in an arcade. Haven't done that. There's not much to say about Sandfall Interactive mentioned, like, hey, we worked on this for years. The idea that a turn-based French RPG has sold 5 million copies in under a year is kind of fucking buck wild. Obviously, people really love that game, and also people really want to talk about how much they love that game, and letting the people know. But that is a cool story. And again, remember, there's a lot of people that worked on that studio. We're not doing any of that. Like, small team can do it. Why can't other people? They got a lot of contractors. It's a pretty big team for an indie team. Not to take away from their success, but to put it into some context. And then lastly, Heart Machine is making layoffs, and they are ending development 9 months after it launched in early access, Hyper Light Breaker. Which is real sad. They are going to polish it as much as possible, though. It's not that they're done fully. It looks like it's going to come out in January. So they're like gonna wind it down and then put it out, but they don't have a lot of people. No more updates and Q&As for the rest of the year. So the game is going to come out. It's just the studio is probably going to close when it does. Is my guess. This is now the second, in about a year, the second round of layoffs. And they did go early access in January. That's a bummer. So basically, the game's still going to come out, but we don't know. I have to hope Possessor does well. Yeah, pretty much. I have built some SD Gundams in the past. I've only built one of the MG SDEX kits, you know, the master grade version of those. I think I've only built one, maybe I've built two of those, but I built plenty of high grade, or the smaller size, the one, not the one for 4, but the tiny SDs. I have built SDs. I do like SD kits. They do have a lot of stickers, and I am not the biggest fan of stickers in the world. I've gotten better at applying stickers, but I've never been quite as good with stickers as I wish I was. So I'm not like, I'm not always thrilled about sticker application. This kit has a bunch of stickers here, which we have not really gotten into. We've only done the eye stickers and then some optional stickers I didn't use, but there will be other stickers to come. I actually think we'll go through this whole stream without doing any stickers, because I don't think the legs have any stickers on them. So that's nice. Do the railguns have stickers? No, the side skirts, which are railguns, but the Proud Defender is going to have a lot of stickers. A lot of these stickers are going to be the Proud Defender stickers, but I don't think we're going to get to that today anyway, because we got to build the legs, the waist and the legs. We're building the waist before we build the legs. That does not happen on a lot of kits these days, folks. A lot of kits these days have you build the waist last. You go from doing the arms to jumping to doing the feet and then the legs. I like we're doing the waist next. I think that's good. I don't know why, but I always hate building the legs and then having anything to put the legs on, because you have to build the waist next. I don't like that. So we'll build the waist in a bit here. When I first started building Gundams, I only did SD and progressed HG, skipped RG, and gone to master grade to perfect grade. Real grades are, I think the first couple real grades are rough comparatively now, but I think real grades give you a lot of tiny pieces, right? But a lot of great looking kits and a lot of incredible posability on a real grade. It's the complexity of master grade and the size of a high grade, you know? There's something pretty great about that, but they're not for everybody, you know? All right, what's going to happen now is I am going to do a thing that I like to call around here the pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you for a couple minutes about ways that you can support the channel, which are all optional. You don't have to do any of the things I'm going to mention, but I am going to go through them for people that want to do things to support me financially. I'm going to give you those options. You don't have to do any of them if you don't want to. I will say I'm not going to get interrupted. So if you have questions, you can save them. You can ask them. I'm just not going to pause the next couple minutes to answer questions that are unrelated to the thing that I'm talking about here, because this is just my opportunity to sell myself and what I do here. But then I will get back to looking at chat and interacting while I'm doing other things and all that. Just want to make sure that people know. First things first, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear workshop, which is this stream, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here because you're already on Twitch. You can do that with Cash Money, or you can do it with your Prime token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with Twitch, you get Twitch Prime that way. And you get this token that you can use for anybody in lieu of payment. And I get the same amount of money, but you can use it for anybody. But if you want to use it for me, that'd be cool. You could also gift a sub. You could be the first person this month to gift a sub to somebody in the community. You could also cheer with some bits. If you have bits, you can throw my way if you want to do that. You know, always appreciated. Obviously, you don't have to do any of those things if you don't want to, but it's the easiest way to support me financially because you're already here. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. Over in my Patreon, there is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider, if you will, joining me on Patreon. I should mention again that my $3, $5, and $10 patrons can vote on what I am doing next Tuesday. Once a month, they get to vote on that. So if there are folks that want to jump in there, they're already the Patreon that want to go and log in and vote, that would be great. Because you know, make your voice heard and all of that stuff. I have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. Over my YouTube channel, you can, of course, subscribe. It's free to subscribe over there and check out the videos that I make. That's cool. If you wanted to, you could also become a member. And for just $2 a month, you'd be supporting me financially, which is great. And also, you get something. So I have a Wednesday video series, and every Wednesday I put up a new video in that series. You would be able to see that early. You get to see that on Tuesday. So the video that most people watched yesterday, instead of waiting for that, you would have been able to see that on Tuesday. So that is a small little thank you for that. But if you want to join in there, you can. My AdSense did update. My current earnings are $94. Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate that. I am so close to getting a payout. Maybe by the end of the year. Maybe I can get that $6 that I need by the end of the year from AdSense, and I'll be able to get them to give me money and then buy some model kits with that money. That would be pretty cool. Anyway, those are all monthly ways to support me if you're inclined to do so. You don't have to, but if you want to. If you would like to just throw something in the tip jar, I've got a Ko-Fi and I got a PayPal, and you could make a direct donation that way. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon and through Twitch, all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I pull money out to buy model kits and Lego sets and equipment here and there, because eventually I'm going to replace some of these lights. This kit that I'm building right now, the Mighty Strike Freedom, I was able to pick this up in the past when it was on sale because of your generosity. Past you is helping out current me. So if you want to help out future me, you could support me in any of those ways listed there. If you want to support, I should say, the next thing that I'm going to be working on, I have 2 model kits that were bought off my Amazon wish list. Shout outs to Chris. Those things that were purchased become the next thing as I build, even though I have a backlog of stuff, because the least thing I can do is build the things that were bought directly by you. So if you would also like to buy something for me to build in the future, and have it jump the queue and be the next thing that I work on, you can go to my Amazon wish list and see if there's something there that you would like me to build. I've got model kits and Lego sets. I've got inexpensive kits. I've got very expensive kits, kits that are on sale, kits that never go on sale with free shipping, or it's coming from another country and who knows when it will arrive. All kinds of different things and things. If you see something on this wish list you'd love to see me put together, you could buy that and then I will build it. That is, that's the thing. Bunch of different things on here. See if there's something you'd like to build. I want to give a shout out to, there's a couple Lego sets in here that I think will be neat that I would be happy to put together. If you want to do that, you don't have to, of course, but if you want to, you could. I have a wish list on Throne. It is nice to have alternatives to Amazon, so I have a wish list on Throne. Check that out. See if there's something there you'd like to pick up. And then if you want to support me financially in the most convoluted way possible, that takes the most steps possible, you go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. Then you can take that and get a whisper on Twitch or to me, or a DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon with that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. And you could even include in your message like, hey, you should build this. And maybe I will. Again, that's the most convoluted way to support me. If you want to support me but you don't want to spend any money, I have a Discord and you're welcome to come hang out in the Discord. It is a cool place where people post photos of stuff they're working on. And also people just like chat about things. It's a nice little place. You're more than welcome to come hang out at the Discord if you wanted to. Couple video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. My most recent episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club was recorded live here on Twitch. It is me talking about last season's anime, the summer season, and the stuff I really loved about it, the stuff I didn't end up watching, the stuff I didn't like. And then also I have a preview at the end of that of the fall season, which is in full swing. We've got anime happening for the fall season right now. And so we talked about that on the video as well. And then Kuma Baer is my weekly anime recommendation series, and all throughout this month, I am recommending anime from the summer season. Last week, I talked about the phenomenal anime City, the animation, which is available on Amazon Prime and is gorgeous, and one of my favorite shows of the year, forget the summer season. Another show that I liked, maybe, I don't know if it's going to be in my top 10, but I did like it a lot, is The Water Magician. The Water Magician is an isekai about an overpowered guy who is just kind of breezing through life, and it's pretty chill until it's not, when there's action that needs to happen. It is not a harem show. He does not save a bunch of people who feel indebted to him and call him master. He is just a guy looking out for his friends and learn about alchemy and trying to enjoy his second life in another world. And then people try to stop that, and he messes them up pretty handily. It's good. I think that show is fantastic. The Water Magician. And sometimes the fight animation is absolutely gorgeous. So check that out if you like. And then what's going to happen right now is I am going to drink some water, and then I am going to dramatically transition to the overhead camera so we can get back to building. And I'm going to talk about 2 of the anime shows that I have been watching. I have 2 episodes of one show to talk about and 1 episode of another to chat about. And we're going to do that right now. All right. So we're going to work on the waist here. And we are going to talk about 2 anime shows from the new season. They are both on Crunchyroll. I think one of them has been a fine subtitle. We talked at the beginning of the stream here about the subtitle situation not being particularly great over on Crunchyroll this season in particular. The first show, Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, was pretty all right. Nothing to report negatively about that as far as the translation showing up and being legible. A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai didn't look as good. It did not look as good because it was suffering from what I like to call too much text on screen that didn't get translated. There's a lot of it. Or it did, and it didn't look good. Include that. So, mixed bag as far as the subtitles go on that one. I'm going to talk about the first 2 episodes of Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, and then I'll talk about the first episode of A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai, and then next week I'll talk about the second episode. What ended up happening this season was a bunch of the shows that I was watching had 13 episodes, so there was like an overlap. So I'm now like a little bit behind on the new shows, but that's okay. We'll get caught up. So we're going to start with Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, and I really enjoyed the first episode of this. We meet Kyoko. Kyoko is been voted class president of her high school class, and she sits next to a student she doesn't know named Yano. And Yano is covered in bruises. So Yoshida, Kyoko Yoshida is like, fuck, what's going on with Yano? She's like, is he being bullied? Like, you could make assumptions. I should just say right off the bat, this is a comedy, and so you don't have to worry about Yano as something sinister happening to Yano, but it is like it's not implied that something sinister is happening, but it is for laughs. Like, she thinks the worst might be happening to this dude. It turns out, so she's like following him to like check in on him, and he's just really clumsy. He's just the clumsiest motherfucker you've ever seen. He just keeps accidentally hurting himself, and then he sees her and he's like, hey, thanks so much for worrying about me. This is just kind of my life. This is just kind of like who I am and what I am, but like, thank you for thinking about me. And then Yoshida is just like, kind of can't stop thinking about this dude and like his situation. And then she like realizes, I've been thinking about this guy for several days. Oh, I have a crush on this guy. That's weird, but okay. Yano is absent for several days from school, and it turns out he got hit by a truck, but he didn't get isekai. Truck-kun did not isekai him. That is not what this show is about. He did get hit by a truck at some point, apparently. But he's okay, because the truck didn't actually hit him, but in not getting hit by the truck, he ran into a wall. That's his fucking deal. Yoshida is starting to hang out with Yano more, and they're kind of like getting to know each other, and it's Yoshida is kind of like starting to figure out, like, I think this dude might be avoiding people. Like, Yano might be purposely trying to distance himself from other people. Could be to avoid pity or accidentally hitting them, them getting involved in his weirdness and getting hurt. We don't quite know what's going on with him, but he is actively avoiding people. And so she's like, you know what? I want to like get to know this dude better. I want to see what's going on. And so she's like trying to initiate more contact with him. But every time she does, let me see, I need 22. Every time she does, he ends up just getting injured because that's his fucking deal. And she's just like, I think at least some of these are because of me. Would you mind if I like helped you out? Because she started to carry a first aid kit. It's not she started to. She's always carried a first aid kit. That's right. So she's just like, I don't know. I've got this first aid kit. Could I like give you a hand? And she's just like, I would be happy if you would let me. I would like to help you in whatever you're trying to do. I want to support you and the things that you're trying to do. And Yano's just like, well, if I can be honest, it would be pretty nice if I could have like a normal life. It would be pretty cool if I could just be like a normal high school student. And it was just like, oh man, fuck. Okay. So he is pretty happy-go-lucky, but it might be a defense mechanism. And he might just be a clumsy, sad guy who also is trying not to like get other people hurt or make. I think, honestly, after the first episode, my big takeaway was like, oh man, I think Yano just like doesn't want people to like feel bad because of him, not feel bad for him. He just doesn't want people to like feel bad because he's getting hurt, if that makes sense. Like, oh, my heart goes out to this fucking goof. This accident-prone goof. Anyway, second episode. We are introduced to a new character. She is a good friend of Yoshida, Yuzukawa, and she's just like, so you're dating him. You and Yano are dating, huh? Okay, when were you going to tell me? And Yoshida's like, no, I'm just trying to help him. We're just friends. We're not dating. I just want him to have a good student life. Because she's like, I'm the student council. I'm the class president. I'm just trying to help another student have a good time at school. She's protesting maybe a little too much, but she's saying, no, we're not dating. We watch Yano drop his bento, and he is completely nonplussed by that because he does that every day. He is dropping that food every fucking day, and he is used to it. So she's just like, all right, I'm going to try to help you as best I can. And over the next, she's like, we're going to work on you eating your actual lunch. And then we get to see a plethora of times where that did not fucking work out. There is a time when a bin lands on his head, a crow steals some of his lunch, a bookshelf just falls on him. He also gets hit by a baseball. Like, I don't think... at this point, I was like, are we going to get a supernatural reveal? Is this kid fucking cursed? What's happening to this guy? I was like, because it's just... it's very over the top how often weird accidents happen to this dude. It's just remarkable how often shit happens to him. Yano is just like, I'm just going to start eating alone because any of these accidents could also affect you. But Yoshida is just like, you know what? I'm going to do something nice for this guy. I'm going to make him a bento. I'm going to make him a lunch because I think that would be nice. And so she does. Goofy syndrome. Yes, she does make him a bento. And of course, a picture frame suddenly falls and lands on him. But he doesn't drop her bento and finishes it. Somehow, he actually, for the first time in years, finishes a lunch at school like a normal student. Because it's hers. And yeah. And Yoshida is overwhelmed by this beautiful moment, and basically almost tells him that she loves him. She, like, forget this, like, will she, won't she? She is about to, but does catch herself and just says, okay, well, you and I are going to eat lunch together from now on, so that maybe you could have lunch. That's like the first half of the story of this second episode, and very good. In the second half of the episode, they're in art class, and I don't know why they have to do this so soon in the semester, but they have to draw a partner, each other's faces. And of course, Yano has accident after accident. You can imagine, like, I did not write them down. There are too many to write down, but he just fucking has problems with this, getting this task done, because of course he does, because he's so accident prone. But eventually they barely get the job done. And Yoshida, who has been kind of too worried about this dude all the time, gets her first really good look at his face. And she kind of gets flustered because she's just like, oh man, yeah, I like this guy. Oh boy. And so she draws like a really like cookie cutter drawing, and it's not because she doesn't have talent, it's because she's super fucking embarrassed about her own reaction to this guy. Meanwhile, despite all of his goofiness and his accidents, Yano is apparently a really good artist, because his drawing of her is really good. And then Yano is just like, hey, he's like, the thing about it is, this dude is so fucking psyched about this. This day in school, he had lunch and finished his lunch, and he completed a task in art and completed it, and people thought it was great. And so he wants to pose for a photo. Meanwhile, the friend who we got introduced, Yusakawa, is like snickering, not because she's like making fun of him, but because she's just like, oh man, I am witnessing a couple, my friend and her goofy ass boyfriend, because she is very aware that this is going to be a couple. I mean, so like, look, I am probably a bit too empathetic for this show, but I think, and obviously it is based on a manga, so which I believe is still ongoing, and there is a live action movie which I have not seen because it didn't come out here. Watching this, I'm just like, I just want the best for this guy. He's so accident prone and he's trying so fucking hard. I want them to be a couple immediately. I am rooting for them. And I can't wait for episode 3. It is so fun. It is such a silly thing. I can't wait to see where it goes. I hope I don't get tired of the goofy, weird accidents happening to this dude all the time. I don't think I'll get tired of it. I mean, I could, I guess. It's so fun. I highly recommend it. It's called Yano-kun's Ordinary Days, and it's on Crunchyroll. And again, so far anyway, subtitles were not distracting. There were a few things that I wish had gotten subtitled, but like or text over it in English, but it wasn't a deal breaker, so I can easily recommend that. First two episodes tell me I want to watch episode 3. Now, there are 2 episodes out there of a Gatherer's Venture Isekai, but I did not see the second episode, but I will talk about that next Thursday, because I am going to at least watch the first couple of these. This is obviously, it has Isekai in the title. If you are surprised that this is an Isekai, I do not know what to tell you, because it's in the title. I have read the manga of this. I have not read the light novel. I don't generally read light novels. This is not my particular interest. But I have read the manga for this, and the supporting cast of characters are all really fun. And I don't want to say they make up for our main character being a little bland, because he's not super bland. He's not the most exciting main character of an isekai I've ever seen, but he is definitely not bland. And in this first episode, we are introduced to a character that makes this show, and we'll get to him. I'll definitely give him a shout out when we get to him, because there are good, fun characters in this show. Pretty immediately. We get into it pretty fast. So our guy is Takara, or Takaru. I haven't said his name out loud. New seasons are always fun for me, like realizing I'm like, oh, I wasn't listening close enough to how the anime said this character's name. Takaru is a guy. He is not like a black company guy. He is not working at a shitty job, but he's working at a boring job. He's just a salaryman. It's just he's just not living an exciting life until he gets summoned by a mysterious god who's just like, hey, look, I made this world called Mattias. There's like mystical stuff going on there. The thing with this world is that it keeps collapsing, and I keep having to restart it. And so I thought maybe if I sent somebody from another world in there, you could like figure that out and like keep it from collapsing again. And our guy's just like, what do you mean by that? He's just like, what do you want me to do? He's just like, I don't know. Things are weird. So just like try to figure it out. Try to change things. I'll give you some abilities. You can use magic, and I'll give you a storage bag, and I promise you that I'll give you a cool companion. Pretty early on, my guy, I'll give you like a cool friend for you to hang out with, and you'll have a great time. And he's just like, okay. So he gets overpowered. He has powerful magic. He can scout areas. He can gather resources. He has a magic storage bag that can collect unlimited things. He's starting off pretty great, because remember, even though a lot of isekai have these kind of characters, our guy has this ability because he is there to solve a problem. He is there to figure out how to keep this world from collapsing, which is heavy, but at least we have a reason for him to be there, because we don't always get that in isekai. So he awakens at this near a village, and he starts gathering items to collect them, just because like that is the thing that he is amped about. That is the thing he liked in video games, was like collecting resources and selling resources. So you can say it's a gatherer's adventure in isekai. That's the thing that he is super into, and so he is going to be doing that a lot in this anime. That's kind of his fucking deal. So he collects some stuff. He gets sent over to a general store, and he gets so he gets sent out to go collect some items, which he's very good at. Along the way, he finds the skeleton of a security corps member, and because he is a man that gathers things, he is good at gathering. He also finds a letter and a necklace on the corpse, and he's not like super freaked out by this, but he's not like psyched about discovering a corpse. Like he's not like, oh hell yeah, this is adventure. But he does the right thing. He collects that a necklace and the letter. And then when he gets to the mountain, he accidentally wakes up an ancient dragon named Voldius. It wakes up that dragon, and that dragon's just like, hey, you got a lot of magic power. You got more magic power than me, and I'm an old ass dragon. I'm not doing an impression of the character. It's just like, well, what's up with you, man? You seem strong. And you seem strong, but you're also being very polite. And she's like, oh, that's cool. Oh, you need some ore? That's why he's there. He's some ore. He's like, yeah, I'll give you some ore. Like, hey, can you do me a favor in exchange for that ore? This is like, sure. I got this egg, and it's a dragon, obviously. It won't hatch. There's like miasma covering it, and I can't clear it away. And the egg wants to hatch, but it can't. Takara pours in magic into the egg to try to help it, to clear it up, and he faints. He tried too hard, and he faints, and then he is visited by another god. And he's just like, what the hell, man? So our one god wants him to fix this world. This other god is like, you are already hanging out with dragons. You have already messed up the world. All right, fine. Don't, be careful, but sure. So then Tegaru wakes up, and the dragon is named. Now, I've seen it named other things in the manga, but in the translation here, he is being called B. B-E-E is what they're calling him in the translation for the anime, so we're going to go with B. B is a dragon. He is a little black dragon. He is very cute. He is kind of like furry, animal-like, kind of like cat or dog-like. He is a little bit like a luck dragon from Neverending Story. He's a little furry in that regard, and not like scaly, I should say, but not. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying here. So Voldius, the ancient dragon, is just like, hell yeah, thanks so much. Anyway, you're stronger than me, so why don't you raise this dragon in my place, because he'll be so strong with you up by his side. Which is a wild fucking thing to say, but it happens. And also, B is like, yeah, I like this guy. This guy seems cool. I'm joining him. And so that, as promised, the first god promised him that you would have a cute companion, and B is a cute dragon companion. Boom. That's the end of the first episode. And that, yeah. Look, is this a good show? Is it a great show? No. Is it a pleasant watch? Yes. And that's kind of all I ask for. I like the manga. As I've said, there are characters that we have been yet to be introduced that I really think are very fun. And I am looking forward to running into those characters. Good supporting characters. Make this show work, including a mythical beast that also takes the form of a human, because she's just like, I want to hang out with you. You seem chill. And a dragon man that is just like a good dude. And also an elf who's got a lot going on. And has it, and I don't know if the anime is going to fully go into all the stuff she's going on, because it's fucking interesting, but I don't know if we're going to get there in the anime adaptation. I think we might, but I don't know if we really are. We're going to like really dive into her backstory, but as someone that's read the manga, there's a lot of fucking backstory for her that's pretty good. So I would be interested to see if we're going to get there. So yeah, I'm not saying you gotta check out a gatherer's adventure in Isekai. But I will say, I'm going to keep watching. I'm going to watch the second episode. I'm probably going to watch the whole thing because I like, unless there's a real dip in quality of the animation, it's good enough. I like the manga. I'm excited to see if there's differences between, because obviously the mangas often have differences with the light novels, and this is an adaptation of the light novel because that always happens. So sometimes there's some stuff that's different, and I'm interested to see what that could be. Now is the part of the stream. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What are you getting? You playing any video games? You buying anything new? Playing old stuff? You watching anything that you want to tell me about? You watching any new shows this season you want to talk about? There's some stuff I haven't watched yet. I have not watched the anime about the mangaka who is having trouble being a mangaka. I have not checked that out yet. I would like to see that. I am probably going to wait until it's almost. I can't do that because I'm getting rid of High Dive because there is nothing this season on High Dive that I want to watch. But my High Dive doesn't expire until until like another week. So I will watch a couple episodes while I can of that revenge story, the Backwater Dungeon, 999,000 levels, whatever thing. Because that is there's going to be some good revenge murders in that show. Because our dude did get fucked over. So I would like to see a little bit of that before I let High Dive go. I'll get High Dive again if there's anime I want to watch, right? Also, not in High Dive's favor, Season 3 of Oshinoko is coming to Crunchyroll next year. So High Dive lost Oshinoko, which is real bad for them. So in January, that's rough because I definitely would have gone back to High Dive in January for that. But now it's like I'm just going to kind of wait and see what shows they get next season. But right now I'm going to let that expire because I don't need it. I already watched that, but I won't say anything so I don't spoil it. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. There are some shows that I do want to see that I haven't checked out fully yet. Oh, the level 90. So I've read the manga of that, right? I'm not like going to watch all of it. It doesn't interest me enough to watch the to go and keep that because I've read the manga. But I do want to watch clips. I will say probably that is going to be a good show to watch clips of because it's just going to be a lot of good violent revenge, tales throughout that whole thing. So I will probably at some point check that show out. I just don't know when I'm going to do it. Yeah, you watched the first episode. Yeah. Yeah, there are a few things that I do want to check out as far as the season. As far as video games go, thank you to everybody joining me on Tuesday for Power Wash Simulator 2, the demo. I cannot wait for the full release of that game. I had such a good time with that demo. I'm uber hyped for Power Wash Simulator 2, which comes out the end of this month. So I'm excited to watch to play that. There is a new expansion of Hearthstone coming out next month, so the meta is a little dead right now, but if you are someone that plays Hearthstone and you haven't played in a little bit for whatever reason, wait, did I do this wrong? Look at that. Look. I don't think I did this wrong. No, that does go back. Okay. I think I did this right. We'll find out later if I did this wrong, but I think I did. No, actually. Maybe this line is supposed to be on the front. Ooh, yeah, that might be. I might have put these on backwards. I gotta pop this out and take a look. I might have put this on backwards. I'm going to disassemble one of them to see if I put this on backwards. Because now that I look at it here, it looks like I might have done some of this that wrong. But yeah, there's a new expansion. But yeah, if you're a Hearthstone player and you haven't played in a while and you want to be playing next season, There is a special quest that you can do that will get you some packs for the next season, so that we are guaranteed some new packs, which maybe you want. Okay, so I do like this, and that goes like that. Okay, no, so I didn't do this wrong. Can I put these on like that? Okay. And I flip this around. All right. As far as I can tell, I did not do this wrong. I think I did this right. No, but look at that, and that doesn't look right. All right. I think I did this correctly. Now that I'm double checking, I think I did this right. I'll find out, you know? If I got to take these apart because I did it wrong, so be it. That happens. It happens now and again. Happens to the best of us. I'm not saying I'm the best of us, but it happens. Lastbrook says, after talking with some folks about Sam Raimi, I decided to rewatch Darkman, and that movie is just buck wild. Hell yeah, it is. Darkman fucking rules. It is a great, weird, like, sci-fi fantasy action movie. Kind of want to track down the direct-to-video sequels. I remember those not being particularly that good. I only watched the second one, and then I think the third one is like a guy from the first movie comes back and is around again, and it's just like, what? But the first movie, I could definitely say that's real good. First Darkman, real good. Lastbrook also played the Skate Story demo today, and it's a fun combination of skateboarding and vaporwave. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the trailer for that. I didn't download the demo. I didn't play the demo, but I'd see the trailer for Skate Story, and that looked neat. That did look cool. Yeah, that seemed all right. Let's see, any other video games I'm playing? I did a playthrough, a run in Nubby's Number Factory today. I haven't checked that out in a while, so I was like, I want to jump back into Nubby a little bit because I haven't played that in a while. And that is still, I think that's still my game of the year because I am the last gaming thing I want to talk about today is that holy shit, I'm getting kind of fucking frustrated with Hades 2. I still think Hades 2 is cool. I think it maybe is I think the things that set it apart from Hades are not things that I'm super into. I don't want to get deep into spoiler stuff because I know some people haven't been playing it or aren't going to be playing it or whatever. But like, I don't know. I want to love it more than I am loving it. I'm not done with it, but I might be. No, I might be. I'm on a break. I think I'm on a Hades 2 break. I want to see how I feel next week about it. I think I'm going to play more of it. I just don't think I want to play more of it right now, if that makes sense. Because I'm just getting kind of fucking frustrated with bad runs in it that I don't know. Like, some of it's obviously my fault because, it's like, oh, I'm not paying attention to this, or, oh, this build doesn't actually make sense for the play style I have, or it, and some of it is luck and all that. But like, I don't know. Sometimes I just have what I think is a really good run and a good combination, and then like a boss just whips my fucking ass and I feel like shit. And I'm just like, I don't know about this one. So we'll see. I'd like to keep playing it. I don't know, but I think I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to check back in next week and just not play it this weekend. And then what might end up happening is over the weekend, I might be like, God damn, I can't stop thinking about this video game. I want to go back and play more. Like, Hades 2 might have its hooks in me. I don't think it does, but it might. It might turn out that I really want to go back and play more of it. I don't know. Laura Crashton started Ghost of Yote, and that's been cool so far. Hell yeah. I'm so happy for Erica. She deserves the moon. She's just so fucking great and cool and talented, and I'm very happy for her success. But yeah, I hope you have a good time with that, Lord Crashington. I hope that is a fucking dope ass video game. I don't have anything else on the agenda. Tomorrow, I'm going to watch some wrestling. There was a Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling show over the weekend that was not streamed, but was taped. And so I'm eager to watch that. And then I have talked about how currently Maharu Kiryu is the Iron Man, DDT Iron Man champion. The Iron Heavy Metal Weight Championship, which is their like hardcore 24/7 hardcore title slash the 24/7 championship. As long as there is a referee, you can defend that title. This week, some of the girls at Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling were doing a internet signing. Basically, you can buy stuff like portraits and stuff, and then they will do a stream where they sign it, and then it gets mailed out. And that is a way, of course, to further promote the things they are selling. And during that, it was done. One of the people who was signing was a referee, and then two of the wrestlers kept trying to pin Maharu for her title. And then they started fighting with each other. But what had happened was a piece of paper landed on Maharu. And the referee looked at that piece of paper and realized that Maharu was being pinned by the piece of paper. 1, 2, 3. A piece of paper, which was a list of the names of people that had bought stuff from Maharu, like photos. They won the belt. So for a period of less than an hour, the DDT champions were an undisclosed names of people because they couldn't say the names out loud because of privacy concerns. But don't worry, because it was not meant to be. Maharu took that piece of paper and put it through a shredder. And that piece of paper was unable to answer the count, and Maharu was given the belt back. She straight up murdered a list of paper in order to regain her title, which she lost. It's just the dumbest shit, and I love it so much. I just love it so much. It's just so goofy in a way that I really, really enjoy these dumb things. The referee, which I thought was very funny, is she was wearing a dress to do the signing, the digital signing and all that, and she had to go off camera and quickly put on the ref jersey, but she didn't do it fast enough. So she had to get down, and she was wearing the ref jersey, but barely wearing it when she did the 1, 2, 3 over her dress. And it was just very funny because it was just goofy and slapdash in a way that I'm really interested in. They should have given Maharu this belt years ago. She is such a good steward of a goofy thing. She is so down to clown. The worst thing is this weekend, she has a one-on-one match with the ace of Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, Miyu Yamashita. And Miyu is the toughest in a wrestling league where a lot of people have silly gimmicks and good times. Miyu's gimmick is, I will kick you in the fucking head and you will die. Her gimmick is no gimmicks needed. I mean, her actual gimmick is she falls for goofs all the time because she is such a serious person that she gets tricked into stuff a lot. But she is the pink striker. She's tough as nails and great. But she is facing Maharu on a one-on-one match for that title in Maharu's hometown. In the home picture in her hometown, Maharu, a local legend. Maharu, she is like Gumma does not have a lot of things to be really psyched about in entertainment. And they have rallied around this average lady who is working very hard to be a professional wrestler. She does local stuff, ads all the time, and they're going to turn out in waves. And Mahiru's going to lose that belt to Miyu. And if she does beat Miyu, it's insane. And I will be so psyched about that. We are almost done with the legs. We will finish this up on our next build on Saturday, our next stream on Saturday. As I get ready to wrap things up, I will say that Lord Crashin says, I'm in the pandemic era of the Beastcast. The giant bombs, the Beastcast. And I enjoyed Vinny talking about how his favorite Gundams are the basic mass-produced models and not the unique hero models. Yes, Vinny likes grunts. He likes the mass-produced grunts. And I understand that. I like a Leo. I like a Zaku 2, you know, not even the special colored versions, the regular Zaku 2s. As you all know, I build a lot of Zaku 2s on this channel. I'm into it. I understand it. So I get what he's saying. I don't necessarily fully agree with it, but I get what he's saying. What's going to happen right now is we are going to go on a raid. That is how we end every stream around here, is we're not going to close the party down. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff that we want to go hang out with, and see what they're up to. Arthur Geese is playing Kronos. What is it? Kronos, the new... I don't know what... Kronos, the new Dawn. That's what it is. Sorry. So we're going to go raid Arthur as he plays Kronos, the new Dawn, and we're going to get... I guess... I'm going to go on a limb and say we're going to get fucking spooky. I imagine this is a spooky game. So we'll go hang out with Arthur. Reminder, my next stream is Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will continue to work on this kit. We did a lot done. We did the arms. We did the waist. We did most of the legs. I don't think we're going to finish it on Saturday. We're going to finish it on Monday, though. I'm pretty sure. But come along on this raid. It'll be fun. Come back on Monday for another stream. Saturday. Monday. Come back on Saturday for another stream. It'll be a good time on Saturday, too. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Talk to you soon, everyone. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.